What if the very pills you're swallowing each morning to protect your bones are actually hardening your arteries like concrete? What if that supplement your GP recommended is secretly accelerating kidney damage while you sleep? And what if the vitamin everyone calls a miracle is actually programming your bones to crumble from the inside out? You've been doing everything right, haven't you? Taking your daily supplements religiously, reading every health label at the chemist, following doctor's orders to the letter. But here's the terrifying truth nobody's telling you. For the most commonly recommended supplements for seniors are silently destroying your organs, and the 47 billion pound supplement industry profits every single day you remain confused about which pills are poison and which ones actually work. Are you feeling more exhausted lately despite taking everything you're supposed to? Perhaps you notice strange muscle cramps that jolt you awake at 3 a.m., or that stubborn constipation that started around the same time you added those extra vitamins to your routine. These aren't just the inevitable consequences of getting older. These are your body's desperate warning signals that certain supplements are throwing your internal chemistry into chaos, and nobody's connecting the dots because there's too much money at stake in keeping you dependent and confused. The pharmaceutical and supplement companies have built empires by convincing you that more is better, that natural means safe, and that if one pill is good, 3 must be brilliant. But your body after 60 doesn't work like it did at 40, and what helped you then could be killing you now. In the next few minutes, we're going to expose the 4 supplements that are sabotaging your health right now, ranked from dangerous to absolutely catastrophic, and then reveal the 4 supplements backed by proper peer-reviewed science that can actually reverse age-related damage and add quality years to your life. Our number 2 beneficial supplement rebuilds your cellular energy factories 40% faster than those expensive anti-aging treatments they advertise on morning television. Yet 9 out of 10 seniors have never even heard its name. Before we dive in, drop a comment right now telling us your age, which part of the UK you're watching from, and most importantly, which supplements are sitting in your bathroom cabinet this very moment. We're personally reading every single comment and replying with specific advice for your exact situation. So don't be shy. Share below. Now, let's start with dangerous supplement number 4. And I promise you, the companies selling this one absolutely do not want this information getting out. Dangerous supplement number 4, iron supplements. Most seniors panic about iron deficiency, don't they? You feel a bit tired, maybe a touch weak after climbing the stairs, and suddenly you're convinced you need iron tablets. After all, 8 out of 10 GPs still prescribe iron supplements the moment an older patient mentions fatigue. But here's the shocking reality nobody's warning you about. Unless you have medically confirmed anemia diagnosed through proper blood tests, taking iron supplements after 60 could be slowly transforming your organs into rusted metal. Your body has absolutely no natural mechanism to eliminate excess iron except through blood loss, which is precisely why postmenopausal women and older men are sitting ducks for iron toxicity. When iron accumulates beyond what your body needs, it doesn't just sit there harmlessly waiting to be useful. It oxidizes, meaning it essentially rusts inside you, generating dangerous free radicals that attack your liver cells, damage your pancreas, and even assault the delicate tissues in your brain. The medical term for this nightmare is hemochromatosis, which is essentially iron overload turning your vital organs into rust factories while you're none the wiser. A 2022 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition tracked 8,000 seniors over 5 years and discovered something absolutely chilling. Those taking iron supplements without diagnosed deficiency showed 31% more liver damage markers and 18% higher rate of developing type 2 diabetes compared to seniors who didn't supplement. The researchers discovered that excess iron directly interferes with your insulin sensitivity and accelerates the aging of the pancreatic cells responsible for producing insulin. Think about that for a moment. You're taking iron because you want more energy, but you're potentially giving yourself diabetes in the process. If you absolutely must take iron due to confirmed anemia, here's how to protect yourself from the damage. Never, and I mean never, take iron tablets with your morning tea, coffee, or that glass of milk you have with breakfast. These beverages actively block iron absorption, forcing your body to work harder and requiring you to take dangerously higher doses just to get any benefit whatsoever. Instead, take your iron with vitamin C from actual food, something like half a fresh orange or a handful of strawberries, which dramatically enhances absorption. So you need far less of the supplement itself. Second critical point, demand that your GP checks your ferritin levels every 3 months, not just your hemoglobin. Ferritin shows your stored iron reserves, the iron your body has stockpiled in tissues and organs, while hemoglobin only reveals what's currently floating around in your bloodstream. Most doctors only check hemoglobin, which completely misses a dangerous accumulation happening in your liver and pancreas. Third protection strategy, consider taking your iron every other day instead of daily. Recent research proves this actually improves absorption rates while dramatically reducing the nasty side effects like constipation and nausea. Let me tell you about Dorothy, a 68-year-old retired primary school teacher from Sheffield who was constantly exhausted and struggling to get through her days. Her GP prescribed iron tablets without bothering to check her ferritin levels, which were already sitting at 275 nanograms per milliliter, nearly double what's considered healthy. After 6 months of daily iron pills, her ferritin rocketed to 415 nanograms per milliliter, and suddenly she developed severe joint pain, frightening heart palpitations, and her blood sugar test came back, showing prediabetes. Once she stopped the iron completely and started donating blood quarterly to physically remove the excess iron from her system, her ferritin dropped to 145 nanograms per milliliter. Within 8 months, her joint pain vanished entirely, her blood sugar normalized without any medication, and surprisingly her energy levels actually improved because her body wasn't constantly fighting the oxidative damage the excess iron was causing. But if iron is secretly poisoning thousands of seniors who think they're doing the right thing, wait until you discover what supplement number 3 is doing to you. It's sitting in nearly every British senior's medicine cabinet right this very moment, and the damage it's causing is absolutely criminal. Dangerous supplement number 3. High-dose vitamin E. Vitamin E has been marketed as the miracle antioxidant for decades, hasn't it? They promise you smoother skin, sharper memory, protection from every disease imaginable. Walk into any Boots or Holland & Barrett, and you'll see shelves stacked with bottles containing 400 international units, 800 international units, even 1,000 international units of vitamin E, all marketed specifically to seniors with glossy labels showing healthy, smiling older people living their best lives. But those massive doses that promise to protect you from aging are actually sabotaging your body's entire antioxidant defense system from the inside out. Here's what's really happening when you flood your system with synthetic vitamin E, which represents 90% of all vitamin E supplements sold in the UK. Your body operates a sophisticated network of antioxidants that work together like a perfectly choreographed orchestra. Vitamin C, glutathione, selenium, alpha-lipoic acid, and dozens of others all playing their specific roles. When you swallow massive doses of isolated vitamin E, it monopolizes your antioxidant pathways, literally crowding out and preventing other critical antioxidants from doing their jobs. It's like having one instrument playing so loudly in an orchestra that you can't hear any of the others, destroying the entire symphony. Even worse, synthetic vitamin E, which is labeled as DL-alpha tocopherol on the bottle, has only half the biological activity of natural vitamin E, but stays in your system twice as long, creating a dangerous backlog that blocks real nutrients from being absorbed and utilized. According to a 2023 meta-analysis published in the Annals of Internal Medicine that analyzed 19 separate clinical trials involving over 135,000 participants, high-dose vitamin E supplementation actually increased all-cause mortality by 4%. Read that again. Taking high-dose vitamin E made people more likely to die earlier, not live longer. The researchers discovered that doses above 400 international units daily severely interfere with vitamin K metabolism, which is absolutely crucial for proper blood clotting and maintaining bone health. This explains perfectly why so many seniors on high-dose vitamin E experience unexplained bruising that appears out of nowhere and wounds that take weeks instead of days to heal properly. If you're currently taking high-dose vitamin E, don't just stop cold turkey, especially if you've been on it for years. You need to taper down gradually over 2 weeks to avoid something called rebound oxidative stress, where stopping suddenly actually causes more damage than continuing. The The safe upper limit for supplemental vitamin E is actually just 150 international units daily, and even that should be natural mixed tocopherols, not the synthetic rubbish. Better yet, get your vitamin E from actual food where nature packages it with complementary nutrients that enhance absorption. Just 1 ounce of sunflower seeds provides 37% of your daily vitamin E needs, and it comes with magnesium, selenium, and healthy fats that help your body use it properly. If you absolutely must supplement, look for mixed tocopherols and tocotrienols on the label, which mimics the complete vitamin E complex found in nature rather than the isolated synthetic version. Let me tell you about Brian, a 72-year-old retired mechanic from Birmingham who took 800 international units of synthetic vitamin E daily for 3 years, genuinely believing it would protect his heart after he'd had a minor heart attack. His cardiologist never questioned it, never checked his vitamin K levels, never warned him about the dangers. Brian started noticing unusual bruising appearing on his arms and legs for no apparent reason, and small cuts from working in his garage took weeks to heal instead of the few days they used to take. Blood tests eventually revealed his vitamin K levels were critically low despite eating plenty of leafy greens, and his platelet function was severely impaired, putting him at serious risk for internal bleeding. After switching to just 100 international units of mixed natural tocopherols and adding vitamin K2 supplementation to his routine, his bruising stopped completely within 3 weeks. His wound healing normalized back to what was years ago, and surprisingly his cholesterol markers actually improved because his body's antioxidant system was finally working in harmony again instead of being overwhelmed by synthetic vitamin E. Now, supplement number 2 is going to absolutely shock you because it's been called a miracle mineral for bone health for decades, and your doctor has probably recommended it. Dangerous supplement number 2, calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is the cheapest, most common form of calcium in supplements, making up roughly 85% of what's sold in British pharmacies and health shops. Those chalky white tablets that promise to prevent osteoporosis and keep you walking tall might actually be creating a cardiovascular catastrophe that's ticking away inside your arteries right now. The problem isn't calcium itself. Your body needs calcium desperately. The problem is a specific dirt cheap form and how your aging body processes it after 60. When you swallow calcium carbonate, it requires extremely strong stomach acid to break it down and absorb it properly. But here's what the supplement companies conveniently forget to mention. Your stomach acid production drops by a staggering 40% after age 60, and if you're taking acid blockers like omeprazole for heartburn or reflux, it's even worse, sometimes dropping by 70%. So that calcium carbonate sits in your digestive system like cement mix, barely absorbing at all. Your body only manages to use about 10% of what you've swallowed, while the remaining 90% floods into your bloodstream all at once in a dangerous spike, desperately looking for somewhere to deposit itself. And where exactly does all that unabsorbed calcium go? Not to your bones where you desperately want it and need it, but straight to your arteries, heart valves, kidneys, and other soft tissues where it has absolutely no business being. In a landmark 2024 study published in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research, researchers tracked 6,000 women over 65 who were taking calcium carbonate supplements religiously. Those taking 1,000 milligrams or more daily had 27% more arterial calcification and a shocking 19% higher rate of kidney stones compared to women getting their calcium from food sources. But here's the study's most devastating finding that should make every senior taking calcium carbonate question everything. The supplement group actually experienced slightly more bone fractures than the food group, completely defeating the entire purpose of taking the supplements in the first place. If you absolutely must supplement with calcium, switch immediately to calcium citrate, which absorbs efficiently without requiring stomach acid and doesn't cause those dangerous blood calcium spikes. Take no more than 500 milligrams at a time, because your body physically cannot absorb more than that in a single dose anyway. The rest just becomes expensive waste. Always combine calcium with magnesium in a 1-to-1 ratio, vitamin D3, and critically important, vitamin K2, which acts like a traffic controller directing calcium to your bones instead of your arteries. Better yet, get your calcium from actual food where it's packaged with dozens of bone-building cofactors that supplements simply cannot replicate. 1 cup of cooked collard greens contains 357 milligrams of highly absorbable calcium plus vitamin K, magnesium, and other minerals working synergistically. Let me tell you about Susan, a 69-year-old retired nurse from Manchester who religiously took 1,200 milligrams of calcium carbonate daily for 5 years after her GP warned about osteoporosis risks. She developed severe chronic constipation, suffered through kidney stones twice requiring hospital treatment, and during a routine cardiac scan, doctors discovered significant calcification in her coronary arteries. At just 69 years old, she had the arterial age of someone in their mid-80s. After switching to just 400 milligrams of calcium citrate, combined with magnesium, D3, and K2, plus adding calcium-rich foods to her diet, her next scan 6 months later showed the calcification had completely stopped progressing. Even more remarkably, her bone density actually improved more in 1 year with less supplementation than it had in the previous 5 years of high-dose calcium carbonate. But nothing, absolutely nothing compares to the silent danger of supplement number 1. This is the one that terrifies me most. Dangerous supplement number 1, high-dose vitamin A retinol. High-dose vitamin A from retinol, not beta-carotene, is a silent killer hiding in many senior multivitamins and standalone supplements that millions of British seniors take daily. While everyone worries obsessively about vitamin A deficiency, the terrifying truth is that vitamin A toxicity is far more common in seniors, and it's literally programming your bones to self-destruct from the inside out. Most seniors don't realize that vitamin A is fat-soluble, meaning it accumulates in your liver and fatty tissue for years, sometimes decades, building up to toxic levels that can take 10 years or more to clear from your system. The recommended daily amount for vitamin A is just 900 micrograms for men and 700 micrograms for women over 60. But many supplements contain 3,000 micrograms or more of preformed vitamin A as retinol or retinol palmitate. When you combine that with vitamin A from fortified cereals, fortified milk, any fish oil supplements you're taking, and vitamin A-rich foods, you could easily be consuming 5 times the safe amount every single day. Your liver can only process so much before it becomes overwhelmed, and once it reaches that breaking point, excess vitamin A starts viciously interfering with vitamin D metabolism, which is absolutely essential for calcium absorption and bone health. According to a 2023 study in the New England Journal of Medicine that followed 72,000 seniors for 8 years, those with the highest vitamin A intake from supplements had a devastating 48% more hip fractures and 16% lower bone density than those with moderate intake. The researchers discovered that excess vitamin A activates osteoclasts, which are cells that break down and destroy bone tissue, while simultaneously suppressing osteoblasts that build new bone. It's literally programming your skeleton to crumble. Stop taking any supplement with preformed vitamin A immediately if the dose exceeds 1,500 micrograms. Check every single supplement in your cabinet because it hides in multivitamins, fish oils, cod liver oil, and even some calcium supplements where you'd never expect to find it. Instead, get your vitamin A from beta-carotene found in orange and green vegetables like carrots, sweet potatoes, and spinach, which your body intelligently converts to vitamin A only as needed, making toxicity virtually impossible. If you've been taking high-dose vitamin A for years, ask your GP for a serum retinol test to check your levels. Anything above 80 micrograms per deciliter indicates dangerous excess accumulation that's damaging your bones right now. Let me tell you about Thomas, a 73-year-old retired airline pilot from Leeds who took a high-potency multivitamin containing 3,000 micrograms of vitamin A plus fish oil supplements for 12 years, genuinely believing he was protecting his health. He ate liver once weekly and sweet potatoes almost daily, thinking he was being incredibly health-conscious. At 73, he fractured his hip from a simple slip in his driveway, barely any impact at all. Blood tests revealed his serum retinol was 95 micrograms per deciliter, dangerously high. His bone density scan showed severe osteoporosis despite adequate calcium intake and regular walking. After eliminating all supplemental vitamin A and limiting high vitamin A foods, his serum retinol dropped to 65 micrograms per deciliter over 6 months. His bone density improved by 4% in just 1 year, something his consultant said was nearly impossible at his age without prescription medication. Those were the 4 worst, most dangerous supplements you can take after 60. Now, let's reveal the 4 supplements that can genuinely transform your health and add quality years to your life. Starting with number 4. Good supplement number 4, Magnesium Glycinate. While everyone obsesses over calcium, magnesium quietly controls over 300 different enzyme reactions in your body, including the critical ones that actually allow you to use that calcium properly. Yet a shocking 68% of British seniors are severely deficient in magnesium, and your standard NHS blood tests completely miss it because only 1% of your body's magnesium circulates in your blood. The rest hides deep in your bones in cells where blood tests can't detect it. Magnesium glycinate is the gold standard form because it's bound to glycine, an amino acid that dramatically enhances absorption and crosses the blood-brain barrier to support cognitive function. Unlike magnesium oxide, which is only 4% absorbed and causes explosive diarrhea, magnesium glycinate absorbs at 80% efficiency without any digestive upset whatsoever. It directly relaxes blood vessel walls, reducing blood pressure naturally, calms your overactive nervous system for deeper sleep, improves insulin sensitivity, helping regulate blood sugar, and even reduces chronic inflammation throughout your entire body. In a 2023 double-blind study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society, seniors taking 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate daily for 12 weeks reduced their systolic blood pressure by an average of 12 points, improved their sleep quality scores by 35%, and decreased inflammatory markers by 23%. The most remarkable finding was that participants' arterial stiffness, measured by pulse wave velocity, improved by 15%. Essentially reversing 5 years of arterial aging in just 3 months. Take 200 milligrams of magnesium glycinate twice daily, once mid-afternoon, and once before bed for optimal results. Never take it at the same time as calcium because they compete for absorption. Space them at least 2 hours apart. For maximum absorption, take it with a small amount of healthy fat, like a few almonds or half an avocado. If you experience loose stools, reduce the dose and build up gradually over 2 weeks. The therapeutic dose for most seniors is 400 to 600 milligrams daily, but always start with 200 milligrams to assess your tolerance. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 70-year-old retired accountant from Bristol who suffered from painful leg cramps. Good supplement number 3, vitamin D3 with K2. Vitamin D3 isn't really a vitamin at all. It's actually a hormone that controls over 2,000 genes throughout your entire body. After 60, your skin produces 75% less vitamin D from sunlight, and if you live anywhere north of Birmingham, you're getting virtually zero vitamin D from the sun between October and March. But here's the critical part that everyone misses and hardly anyone talks about. Taking D3 without K2 is like driving a car without a steering wheel. Vitamin D3 dramatically increases calcium absorption from your intestines, sometimes doubling or tripling it. But without K2 to direct that calcium precisely where it needs to go, it deposits dangerously in your arteries and soft organs instead of strengthening your bones. Vitamin K2 activates crucial proteins called osteocalcin and matrix GLA protein that shuttle calcium exactly where it belongs, to your bones and teeth, while preventing it from calcifying your arteries and heart valves. The negative 7 Malawian Quatches form of K2 is vastly superior because it stays active in your body for 72 hours compared to just 8 hours for the negative 4 Malawian Quatches form, giving you continuous protection. In a groundbreaking 2024 study published in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Metabolism, seniors taking 4,000 international units of D3 combined with 180 micrograms of K2, MK7 daily for 1 year, increased bone density by 3%, while simultaneously reducing arterial calcification by 12%. The control group taking D3 alone actually showed increased arterial calcification despite having better vitamin D blood levels, proving you need both working together. Participants also reported 40% fewer respiratory infections and a 25% reduction in joint pain. Take 4,000 to 5,000 international units of D3 with 180 to 200 micrograms of K2, MK7 daily with your fattiest meal for optimal absorption, as both are fat-soluble. Get your vitamin D levels tested every 3 months initially, aiming for 50 to 70 nanomoles per liter, not the outdated 30 nanomoles per liter minimum that most NHS labs still use. If you're severely deficient below 20 nanomoles per liter, you might need 10,000 international units daily for several weeks under medical supervision. Never take K2 if you're on warfarin blood thinners without your doctor's explicit approval. Let me tell you about Edward, a 75-year-old retired engineer from Glasgow whose vitamin D level was only 18 nanomoles per liter, severely deficient. He had chronic back pain, caught every cold and flu going around, and had already fractured 2 ribs from minor falls. His GP prescribed 20,000 international units of D2 weekly, the prescription form, which barely moved his levels at all. After switching to 5,000 international units of D3 with 200 micrograms of K2, MK7 daily, his level rose to 62 nanomoles per liter in just 3 months. His back pain reduced by 70%. He went an entire winter without getting sick for the first time in years, and a DEXA scan showed his bone density improved by 2.5% in 1 year, remarkable for a man in his mid-70s. Good supplement number 2, PQQ, pyrroloquinoline. Now, supplement number 2 is going to surprise you because most GPs have never even heard of it, yet it's one of the most powerful anti-aging compounds ever discovered. PQQ is the only nutrient scientists have ever identified that actually creates brand new mitochondria in aging cells. Your mitochondria are the microscopic power plants inside every cell, and you lose approximately 50% of them between age 40 and 70, which is exactly why everything feels harder, slower, and more exhausting as you age. PQQ not only protects your existing mitochondria from oxidative damage, but actually triggers something called mitochondrial biogenesis, the creation of fresh new energy producers in cells you thought were permanently exhausted. This compound was only identified as essential for human health in 2003, which explains why most doctors remain completely unaware of its existence and transformative potential. PQQ is 5,000 times more efficient at neutralizing free radicals than vitamin C, and unlike other antioxidants that get used up after one reaction, PQQ could perform 20,000 catalytic cycles before being exhausted. It specifically protects brain cells from oxidative damage and improves nerve growth factor, which is absolutely crucial for maintaining cognitive function after 60. According to a 2023 randomized controlled trial in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry, seniors taking 20 milligrams of PQQ daily for 12 weeks showed 23% improvement in mitochondrial efficiency measured by cellular ADP production. More remarkably, cognitive test scores improved by 30%, particularly in short-term memory and processing speed. Brain scans revealed increased blood flow to the prefrontal cortex, the brain area most affected by aging. Participants also reported 40% more sustained energy throughout the day without any jittery stimulant effects whatsoever. Take 10 to 20 milligrams of PQQ with breakfast, as it's energizing, so avoid taking it late in the day or it might interfere with sleep. Combine it with 200 milligrams of CoQ10 for synergistic effects, as PQQ creates new mitochondria while CoQ10 helps them produce energy efficiently. Look for Bio-PQQ or Micro-PQQ on the label. Good supplement number 1, omega, 3 EPA and DHA. But the number 1 supplement, the absolute king of longevity supplements, outperforms many prescription medications. Omega, 3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, are the most scientifically validated supplements for healthy aging with over 40,000 published studies backing their benefits. Your brain is 60% fat, and DHA makes up 40% of the polyunsaturated fatty acids in your brain tissue. After 60, your body's ability to convert plant-based omega-3s like flaxseed into EPA and DHA drops to almost zero, making direct supplementation absolutely essential